So, you told me you'd be interested in the Fornax 3.5 patch for Stellaris. Announced a big UI improvements, relic updates, new achievements, new beginner-friendly difficulty settings, and much more. Let's have a quick skim through everything we know so far. Digging through the dusty archives of the forums, I first saw this post about mega reworks of relics and summer experimentation. What does that mean? So let's have a look. It belongs in a mega art installation. What have they done here? So they've changed the Crisis relic. Let's make this big here. So the Brethren Brood Queen, for example, adds now research speed to society as a passive effect. So it's a really big effect. So now what they've played around with is getting bigger effects and better effects on the relics that you get. And new barrel and life seeding don't really need much of a buff. Still got one. Here we got the Cybrex Warforge. Passive effects, building Cybrex Warform armies, and as you can see, 10 times the amount of alloys, but you pay something for it. So there's been a massive increase in all the effects that you can probably get after the update of 3.5. Then Alfrey Strike announced the return of important culture workers in the dusty tome of 260 that I had to free from beach dust and ice cream glue. Summer culture. You can see that they have re-improved the Overtuned Monument and brought culture worker jobs back. And culture worker jobs now do a lot, as you can see here in the approximate jobs production. Quite a lot of unity is gained by culture workers. And a couple of extra effects as well that will help with just about everything. Overtuned Monument not only getting the 5% bonus from jobs and producing one unity for each Ascension perk your empire has taken, but more, but you need the workers for that. So there are also ethics-based modifiers they're currently testing, whether the effects are empire-wide or only affecting the planet that the building's been constructed on. For example, here, materialists would get 2 more amenities, spiritualists less amenity usage, and so on and so forth. And here, of course, hive minds and machine intelligences also get the sensorium side upgraded, turning energy credits into unity and amenities. Pretty top job to improve this. So the planned change is actually a great improvement because it makes this Overtuned Monument useful from the start. So you will use it when it's available, and that's the thing you want from a game. Eladrin went further and showed us a whole new difficulty for beginners, which is definitely a good idea, along with further customization and species pack achievements. Yay! Good Eladrin has accepted the challenge, and yeah, from community feedback, yeah, here we go. Civilian difficulty further increases the bonus players receive in cadet difficulty with an additional bonus towards completing first contact. So it really helps players get into the game, which is something you want. Especially with older games, you want to help people get into the games because the game has had so many updates and it's getting quite a little bit more complicated than it was at the start, so adding that civilian level is definitely a good idea. You can also further change how the difficulty will be scaling, when it will stop scaling up and things like that. So another tiny little addition to the Galaxy generation settings for players looking for an extra challenge, Crisis type. You can have all crises so if you have one crisis, that doesn't mean you will get the other crisis. You will get additional crisis, which will spawn every crisis eventually, with each subsequent crisis being stronger than the previous. The galaxy is counting on you, no pressure. That's something I'm looking forward to. It's really cool to have that in, not only for the lower end, so you'll get a quicker introduction into Stellaris and all the mechanics, but also on the higher end, so that you have something new, some new wall to run your head against, and a couple of nice species pack achievements for aquatics, necroids, lithoids, humanoids, plantoids, and there's something more now. Then our man Eladrin was speeding up. We got more Ringworlds, Reliquaries, and Relics. So good, let's have a look. Being Ringworlds, Reliquaries, Relics, and more. So you have mega structures in the outliner from now on, just as planets, which is just great to have that available, because you always forget these upgrades. Otherwise, you have to look for them on the map if you have a very big map. Something very good here. The Megastructure Outliner. Accessibility improvements. Also really, really cool. For mouse side button mode, visual alerts, large fonts, everything supported just for everyone to get a little bit better. And there's an announcement also for the 3.6 Orion update. Looking forward to that as well. And you can get Golden Tiyanki status now. Okay, look, you love Reliquaries. Well, generally limit the amount set to a single customer. We make an exception for you. From now on, enjoy the privilege of purchasing Reliquaries directly with only a nominal increase in energy credits each time. So you can spend all your energy credits on these things with a Golden Tiyanki status. The Galatron is waiting. So, and there's more achievements. For Aquatics, Holy Water. For There Be Dragons, for Necroids, for Memorialists, for Lithoids, for even more Lithoids, Plantoids, and what? Tend the Gardens, Wenkward Artem, the Custodian. That's a special thing that you can find in the game. Really nice. And the Humanoids as well get something new. Destroy the people of Earth as the Commonwealth of Man. Also pretty nicely done. And one more being added to Synthetic Dawn. Machine Supremacy. Win the game as a machine uprising. These are really fresh achievements and I like them. Then we have the relic updates. More relic updates here. The Khan's Throne, as you can see, will get claim influence cost downs, access to the Satrapy subject preset. That's something really nice. So everything gets a little bit stronger. For example, the Head of Sarklan allows the settling of holy worlds for spirituals and gets the spiritual ethics attraction plus 75% when active. So that's pretty cool. And more changes to already balanced relics. The Psionic Archive, for example, will allow Gestalt Empires to find psionic theory and access to throw mining. Brood Queen will grant a stacking empire modifier to swarm-type weapons. Pox Sample will increase the likelihood that you find biological technologies. Omnicodex gives 25 relation with non-robot empires if you're a robot one. And Reality Perforator active modifiers now last 2 to 5 years instead of 1 to 5 years. So a couple of really needed buffs for these cool relics, so you can really look forward to them. And furthermore, we now know that the AI will use some of the relics, especially the Head of Sarklan, and also use it and settle on these holy worlds, something they ignored in the past. So the AI is also getting a little bit smarter, or at least a little bit more with some character, something you can play against. Let's see what's up next. And as a final and paid treat, though, we get to the Toxoids, fun-looking toxic tunes with some extra origins, a cool song, Civics, traits, and an advisor on top. Let's get into the details together. So here are the 15 new portraits from Toxoids. They're all extremely cute, fun, and really icky to look at. With my elite editing skills, I'll show you here all the animations with the original commentary from the Paradox stream.
The big form. Any preferences?
Let's go through them. Let's show them all off. So we've got the fishbowl.
Yes, we apparently are called Big Ooze.
Nice.
This is very, very nice. We got this fine gentleman here. What lady? What? Gas bag?
Us.
Wouldn't go that far, okay. We got the triad.
Mm-hmm.
And we got this ominous creature.
I like you can actually see the eyes like appearing. That's cool.
That's creepy as hell. My god, he looks like a gym bro. This is the kind of alien that will come and ask you how much you lift, bro.
It's the useful thing.
That's small. I get religious vibe from that one.
Yeah.
Sure one.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the costume, okay.
Maybe.
Noble's favourite, probably. Yep, big smile from Noble there.
Lots of eyes. And the coolest guy in the
Yeah, little diver. I like that guy as well.
New pack has a lot of legs. It does. It's the more legs than we've ever done before.
Yes, we've got at least 100% more legs in this expansion than we've had previously.
This one's also very cool, but we shouldn't use it this week.
No, we shouldn't, that's true. Although, sorry, just go back on that one. My favourite animation. Because the chest plate actually opens. Just give it a second, give it a second. It's got like a visor. Come on. Show us the animation. It was playing just as it flipped away. Naturally. Now we can't wait forever.
Yeah,
Next time. We'll get it next time.
This one.
It's kind of like a peacock that went wrong.
Very wrong indeed, to be honest. Those guys, they just look really, really poor. I'm sorry, it's not a way to say it.
Yeah, and you've respirators because the quality of the living conditions are so bad.
You could just buy a can of air.
True.
They look proper toxic fish. Toxic.
Yes. It's the foo fish, what are they called?
Half fish.
Yeah, the ones that you have to like color with, yeah, really nice ones.
Also that you can use like that, right?
Yeah, those ones.
And
This is actually one of my favourites. I really like the fact that he's got like the little robot appendages. Like he himself can't do very much, but he's got the tech to like control levels.
I'm sorry, all I can see when I see that is the one scene where he demands the death of Paul Atreides.
It is.
The Navigator Guild demands it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I think that's the road, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what's fuck. Sorry, fuckers. I don't really cool.
It does. Like the art team really have absolutely blown things apart by the quality of these.
So they just it did poison guys out of this mission, right?
Yes.
Again, come on.
It's the exhaust. Come on, play the animation.
Wait, I've not actually seen that one before.
No, neither. It's aquatic. Poisonous barbs or something in the back.
Then we can see the two new origins. Knights of the Toxic God, which is kind of weaving you into a story with as a Knight of the Toxic God, and then Overtuned, which has a lot of details and consequences, and which we'll see in detail now. Overtuned unlocks special Overtuned traits that will cost a little bit less, but have the disadvantage of making your leaders live less long. You can freely combine them with any other traits, so that's something to look out for.
Ability.
Yeah. That's army strength and the resource output. Don't mind the broken ass tooltip. Food, mining, energy, amenities, consumer goods, research, experience gain, unity, and then the big research, the big pop growth, and the big ability.
Really strong.
There's also a couple of general civics adding to that: exotic metabolism, incubators, inorganic breath, and noxious make a truly toxic experience for your species. We got a little in-depth preview of the civics. Interesting mutagenic spars, permutation pools, and hyper lubrication basins, but it doesn't end there. We also get the truly intoxicating, relentless industrialist civic. And as in the future, we'll be able to choose between getting resources or research from fleet debris. This new civic allows us to take both at once. Then finally, we can detox toxic planets into habitable worlds. With this new Ascension perk, you can terraform toxic into habitable worlds, even though you will have to remove all the pollution by hand, as you can see in the in the screenshot. Blip, here's the new Toxoids flag overview. And also here's the ship overview of all the ship appearances for the new Toxoids design, which looks, in my opinion, really, really cool. And then there's the sarcastic and toxic advisor voice.
If you think you're better than me, why don't you just try playing along? I don't really have a lot to tell you. Governing the universe is actually quite easy, if you keep a clear head. I don't really have a lot to tell you. Governing the universe... Oh, please. Do not press any buttons if you don't know what they do. I've already...
Thank you for watching. Toxic gaming to you, and see you soon in another Stellaris video. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming.